One of the most challenging lessons life teaches us is how to remain quiet when faced with disrespect. It's a moment that tests not only our patience but also our character. Naturally, we feel the urge to retaliate, to defend ourselves, and to prove that we are not to be underestimated. However, true strength doesn't come from the loudest voice or the sharpest words. It comes from restraint. Disrespect often feels like an attack on our dignity, pushing us to react impulsively. Yet, when we understand that not every battle needs to be fought, we begin to see the power in silence. As C.S. Lewis once remarked, humility is not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less. This perspective challenges us to rise above the immediate sting of an insult and focus on the bigger picture. It's not about diminishing our worth. It's about understanding that our value isn't dependent on someone else's perception. The Bible echoes this sentiment, offering wisdom on how we should navigate moments of provocation. In Proverbs 15 verse 1, it says, "A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger." This verse reminds us that our response, or lack thereof, has the power to diffuse tension and maintain peace. Strength, therefore, lies in control. When someone disrespects you, they are often seeking a reaction, something they can manipulate to their advantage. By staying quiet, you deny them that power. You reclaim your agency and demonstrate that your emotions are not dictated by the actions of others. This doesn't mean you ignore the disrespect or fail to set boundaries. It means you choose to respond thoughtfully, on your terms. In today's world, where impulsive reactions are the norm, the ability to pause and reflect is rare. Social media, for example, amplifies our knee-jerk tendencies. A negative comment can provoke an immediate response, yet those who resist the urge to engage often come out stronger. The act of remaining silent in the face of provocation is not a sign of weakness, but of profound self-assurance and maturity. As we delve into this script, we'll uncover how staying quiet after being disrespected is not just a strategy for handling conflict, it's a testament to your inner strength. Through insights from psychological principles, biblical wisdom, and the timeless reflections of thinkers like C.S. Lewis, we'll explore why silence can often speak louder than words. Remember this guiding truth: do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Romans 21. By choosing silence, we reject the negativity of others and elevate ourselves to a place of peace and purpose. The journey begins here. Disrespect is a universal experience, something everyone encounters at some point in life. It can come from a harsh word, a dismissive glance, or an outright insult. But have you ever stopped to wonder why people disrespect others in the first place? Understanding this can change how we respond. At its core, disrespect often has more to do with the person delivering it than with the one receiving it. People who disrespect others are often projecting their own insecurities, frustrations, or unresolved pain. C.S. Lewis insightfully noted, "We are not necessarily doubting that God will do the best for us. We are wondering how painful the best will turn out to be." This reflection reminds us that hurtful actions often stem from internal struggles. When someone lashes out, it's frequently a reflection of their inner turmoil rather than an assessment of your worth. Psychologically, disrespect is a form of control. It's designed to provoke a reaction, to shift power dynamics in the favor of the provocateur. They want you to lose your composure, to act impulsively, and to validate their behavior by responding in kind. But by doing so, you hand them the reins to your emotional state. The Bible warns us against this in Proverbs 29:11. "A fool gives full vent to his spirit, but a wise man quietly holds it back." Wisdom lies in restraint, not in unleashing your anger. The human ego plays a significant role here. When someone undermines us, our ego screams for validation. It demands that we prove our worth and restore our pride. This is why it's so tempting to react immediately, to set the record straight. Yet reacting impulsively often leads to regret. In those moments, we're driven by emotion rather than logic, which clouds our judgment. Disrespect also has a way of creating a cycle. If you react with hostility, it fuels further negativity. Both parties become entangled in a battle of egos, escalating the situation instead of resolving it. On the other hand, breaking the cycle requires strength. It requires the ability to pause, reflect, and choose a path that maintains your integrity and peace of mind. One of the most empowering realizations is that you don't need to validate someone else's opinion of you. As Isaiah 26:3 promises, you will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you. Trusting in your own values and character, rather than in external approval, allows you to rise above disrespect. By understanding the psychology behind disrespect, you can see it for what it truly is, a reflection of the other person, not a measure of your worth. This perspective shifts the power dynamic back into your hands. You're no longer a puppet on their strings, reacting to every provocation. Instead, you become the master of your own emotions, charting a course grounded in wisdom and self-respect. This is the first step toward discovering the quiet power of restraint. When you control your reactions, you reclaim your peace and set the tone for how others interact with you. Silence is a force underestimated by many. In a world where speaking out is often equated with power, staying quiet after being disrespected can seem counterintuitive. Yet silence, when used intentionally, is one of the most profound tools of strength and wisdom. When someone disrespects you, their primary goal is often to provoke a reaction. They want you to engage, to stoop to their level, and to validate their behavior with your response. But silence disrupts this pattern. It catches the other person off guard, leaving them unsettled and without the satisfaction they were seeking. As C.S. Lewis wisely observed, courage is not simply one of the virtues, but the form of every virtue at the testing point. Choosing silence is a courageous act, one that requires self-control and a deeper understanding of your values. The Bible also offers guidance on the strength of silence. In Ecclesiastes 3 verse 7, we are reminded, there is a time to be silent and a time to speak. Silence doesn't mean passivity or weakness. It means choosing the right moment to act. And sometimes the most powerful action is no action at all. Silence serves as a mirror, reflecting back the behavior of the person who disrespected you. Without your reaction to deflect their discomfort, they are forced to confront their actions. This can lead to self-reflection or, at the very least, a disruption of their negative intentions. Silence disarms them, demonstrating that their words or actions have no control over your emotional state. This principle is evident in social dynamics. Imagine a heated conversation where one person raises their voice and lashes out, while the other remains calm and composed. The person who stays silent retains the upper hand, appearing more grounded and self-assured. Over time, others come to respect this composure, viewing it as a hallmark of strength and maturity. Practicing silence also offers a crucial pause, a moment to reflect and assess the situation. Reacting immediately often means reacting emotionally, without considering the consequences. Silence, however, gives you space to evaluate the bigger picture. Is this worth your energy? Will engaging improve the situation or escalate it? Silence allows you to respond, not react, and this distinction is critical. As James 1:19 advises, everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. Moreover, silence protects your peace. Engaging in every insult or provocation is exhausting, pulling you into a cycle of negativity. By staying silent, you conserve your emotional energy for the things that truly matter. You maintain focus on your priorities, rather than being derailed by someone else's negativity. Over time, this practice builds resilience, enabling you to navigate future challenges with greater ease. It's important to note that silence doesn't mean accepting mistreatment. It means choosing a response that aligns with your values and long-term goals. There may be moments where silence transitions into a calm and thoughtful assertion of your boundaries. But even then, the pause created by silence ensures that your response is measured and intentional, not driven by anger or frustration. Silence is a reminder that you are in control, not the provocateur, not the circumstance, but you. It's a declaration of self-respect, a refusal to be dragged into unnecessary conflict. As Psalm 46:10 so beautifully states, "Be still and know that I am God." This verse calls us to find strength in stillness, trusting that our composure speaks louder than any words. In choosing silence, you embody a quiet confidence that cannot be shaken. You show the world that you are unbothered by trivial provocations, grounded in your own sense of self-worth, and committed to maintaining your peace above all else. Handling disrespect with grace requires more than just restraint. It demands emotional intelligence. This ability to understand and manage both your emotions and those of others is the key to responding wisely rather than reacting impulsively. Emotional intelligence enables you to see beyond the surface of a situation and act in ways that preserve your peace and integrity. C.S. Lewis insightfully wrote, "You can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending." In moments of disrespect, this quote reminds us that we may not control how others treat us, but we can control how we respond. Emotional intelligence empowers us to take charge of our reactions and steer interactions toward a more constructive outcome. The Bible emphasizes this principle as well. In Proverbs 16:32, it states, "Better a patient person than a warrior, one with self-control than one who takes a city." Patience and self-control, cornerstones of emotional intelligence, are more powerful than brute force or retaliation. These qualities allow you to rise above provocation and maintain a sense of stability, no matter the circumstances. One of the core aspects of emotional intelligence is self-awareness, the ability to recognize your emotions as they arise. When someone disrespects you, you might feel anger, frustration, or even sadness. Rather than suppressing these feelings, emotional intelligence invites you to acknowledge them without letting them dictate your behavior. By observing your emotions, you create space to pause and decide your next step. Another essential component is empathy. Emotional intelligence doesn't just involve managing your emotions, it also requires understanding the emotions driving others' actions. Disrespect often stems from insecurity, frustration, or pain. Recognizing this can help you respond with compassion rather than retaliation. As Ephesians 4:2 advises, "Be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, bearing with one another in love." While it may not justify their behavior, understanding their perspective can help you avoid escalating the conflict. Emotional intelligence also helps you navigate the long-term consequences of your actions. Reacting impulsively might offer temporary relief, but it often leaves behind regret or damaged relationships. By pausing to reflect, you can ensure your response aligns with your values and goals. This measured approach builds trust and respect over time, both within yourself and from those around you. Moreover, emotional intelligence involves mastering the art of de-escalation. When tensions are high, your ability to remain calm can diffuse the situation. Imagine a heated exchange where one person is visibly agitated and you remain composed. Your calm demeanor can act as a grounding force, signaling that you won't be drawn into unnecessary conflict. This not only preserves your peace, but also sets a standard for healthier interactions. Consider the teaching in Philippians 4:5, "Let your gentleness be evident to all. The Lord is near." Gentleness, a product of emotional intelligence, is a powerful response to provocation. It shows that you are in control, not ruled by fleeting emotions or the actions of others. This inner strength becomes a beacon for those around you, inspiring respect and admiration. Developing emotional intelligence takes time and intentional effort. It's a skill honed through self-reflection, mindfulness, and a commitment to growth. Over time, you'll notice that moments that once triggered anger or frustration now evoke a sense of calm. You'll find yourself approaching challenges with clarity and responding in ways that reflect your highest self. Ultimately, emotional intelligence allows you to rise above disrespect and maintain your dignity. It equips you to handle difficult situations with grace, ensuring that your actions reflect the person you aspire to be. As you cultivate this skill, you'll discover that true strength doesn't come from overpowering others, but from mastering yourself. At the heart of responding to disrespect lies a critical pillar, self-respect. Without it, maintaining composure and practicing restraint becomes infinitely harder. Self-respect isn't just about how you view yourself, it's about setting the tone for how others treat you. It's the quiet confidence that says, "I know my worth and no one's behavior can diminish it." C.S. Lewis once said, "Integrity is doing the right thing, even when no one is watching." This sentiment captures the essence of self-respect. When faced with disrespect, it's tempting to lash out in defense, but true self-respect often calls for a different response, one rooted in dignity and control. Your value isn't dependent on others' approval or acknowledgement. It comes from within. The Bible reinforces this in Proverbs 19:11. A person's wisdom yields patience. It is to one's glory to overlook an offense. Overlooking an offense doesn't mean you accept it or see it as unimportant. It means you recognize that your peace of mind and integrity are more valuable than engaging in every slight or insult. Self-respect is about setting boundaries. It's not about letting people mistreat you, but understanding that not every offense requires a response. Reacting to every insult can pull you into a cycle of negativity, robbing you of energy and focus. By choosing silence or a measured response, you assert your boundaries without lowering yourself to the level of the provocateur. When someone disrespects you, it's easy to feel as though your worth is being questioned. But the truth is, disrespect often says more about the person delivering it than about you. People who belittle others are often projecting their own insecurities or struggles. Understanding this allows you to stay grounded in your self-worth. As Isaiah 41:10 reminds us, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you." Knowing that your worth is rooted in something unshakable gives you the strength to rise above negativity. Another key aspect of self-respect is recognizing when to walk away. Silence in the face of disrespect is not submission, it's self-preservation. It's a declaration that you value yourself too much to engage in meaningless conflict. When you refuse to be dragged into someone else's negativity, you maintain control over your emotional state. This refusal to react sends a powerful message. Your actions don't define me. In moments of disrespect, self-respect also calls for self-control. It's natural to feel anger or hurt, but reacting impulsively often leads to regret. Taking a step back, breathing deeply, and considering your response ensures that your actions align with your values. This measured approach not only protects your peace, but also reinforces your sense of self-worth. Consider the example of Jesus, who demonstrated ultimate self-respect and restraint in the face of unimaginable disrespect. When mocked, beaten, and crucified, he chose silence and forgiveness over retaliation. As Luke 23:34 records, his words were, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." This act wasn't weakness. It was the ultimate display of strength and self-assurance. Self-respect also involves forgiveness, not necessarily for the one who disrespected you, but for yourself. It's easy to replay moments of conflict in your mind, wishing you had said or done something differently. But part of self-respect is giving yourself grace. Recognize that you are human, that not every response will be perfect, and that what matters most is maintaining your dignity moving forward. Ultimately, self-respect is about knowing your worth and acting in ways that reflect that understanding. It's about choosing peace over provocation, control over chaos, and wisdom over impulse. By building a foundation of self-respect, you set the stage for healthier relationships, greater emotional resilience, and a life lived with integrity. Not every insult deserves a response, and not every battle is worth fighting. This simple truth is the foundation of a principle that can transform how we handle disrespect: choosing your battles. The ability to discern when to engage and when to walk away is not a sign of weakness. It's a mark of wisdom and emotional intelligence. C.S. Lewis insightfully remarked, "You can't always control your circumstances, but you can control how you respond to them." Disrespect is inevitable, but how we choose to respond determines whether we are dragged into negativity or rise above it. Some battles drain our energy and offer little in return. The question is not whether we can win, but whether the fight is even worth our time and peace of mind. The Bible speaks to this wisdom in Proverbs 20:3. "It is to one's honor to avoid strife, but every fool is quick to quarrel." This verse reminds us that constantly engaging in conflict not only exhausts us, but also diminishes our dignity. True strength lies in knowing when to step back and focus on what truly matters. When you face disrespect, ask yourself, does this moment align with my values and priorities? Will engaging improve the situation or merely escalate it? Often the answer is clear. Some provocations are trivial, a careless comment, an offhand insult. Reacting to these only pulls you into unnecessary conflict, distracting you from your larger goals. Consider the energy required to engage in every slight or insult. Emotional energy is finite, and every moment spent on negativity is a moment taken away from personal growth, meaningful relationships, or achieving your ambitions. By choosing your battles, you conserve your energy for the things that truly deserve your attention. This approach is not avoidance, it's prioritization. Even when disrespect feels personal, it's worth considering the intent behind it. Disrespect often stems from insecurity, frustration, or misunderstanding. Recognizing this allows you to respond with empathy rather than anger. As Romans 12:18 advises, if it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Peace doesn't mean passivity. It means deciding where your focus and efforts are best placed. There are times, of course, when addressing disrespect is necessary. When someone repeatedly violates your boundaries or undermines your well-being, speaking up becomes an act of self-respect. The key is approaching these situations with calm and clarity. Reacting in the heat of the moment may escalate the conflict, but a measured response allows you to assert your boundaries without losing your composure. Choosing your battles also requires the humility to recognize when walking away is the best course of action. Some individuals thrive on conflict, using disrespect as a tool to provoke and control. Engaging with such people often leads to a cycle of negativity. By refusing to engage, you break the cycle and demonstrate that their behavior has no power over you. C.S. Lewis eloquently observed, "Pride gets no pleasure out of having something, only out of having more of it than the next man." This quote highlights the futility of engaging in battles driven by ego. By choosing to rise above petty conflicts, you prioritize peace over pride and wisdom over impulsivity. The Bible reinforces this in Matthew 5:9. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Choosing your battles is an act of peacemaking, not just with others, but within yourself. It allows you to maintain focus on your higher purpose, refusing to let temporary provocations derail your long-term goals. Ultimately, choosing your battles is about reclaiming control. It's about recognizing that your energy is precious, your time is limited, and your peace is invaluable. By engaging only in conflicts that align with your values and contribute to meaningful outcomes, you protect your emotional well-being and pave the way for a more focused, purposeful life. Restraint in the face of disrespect is more than just a temporary solution. It's a habit that builds resilience over time. Each time you choose to pause, reflect, and respond intentionally rather than react impulsively, you strengthen your emotional foundation. This resilience becomes a powerful shield, allowing you to navigate life's challenges with grace and composure. C.S. Lewis once wrote, "Hardships often prepare ordinary people for an extraordinary destiny." Choosing restraint in moments of conflict may feel difficult, but it forges an inner strength that equips you to handle greater challenges. Each act of self-control builds a reservoir of patience, making it easier to face future provocations with calm and clarity. The Bible beautifully captures this idea in James 1:12. Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial because, having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. Trials, including moments of disrespect, are opportunities to grow in character and resilience. When you practice restraint, you transform these challenges into stepping stones toward a stronger, more grounded self. Resilience through restraint doesn't mean suppressing your emotions. It means managing them constructively. Disrespect can evoke anger, frustration, or hurt. Acknowledging these feelings is essential, but allowing them to dictate your behavior gives power to the person who provoked you. Resilience lies in recognizing your emotions without being controlled by them. When you exercise restraint, you conserve your energy for what truly matters. Reacting to every insult or slight is exhausting and often unproductive. Over time, this habit depletes your mental and emotional resources, leaving little energy for the people and pursuits that enrich your life. Restraint, on the other hand, keeps you focused. It's a conscious decision to prioritize your peace and purpose over fleeting provocations. This practice also has profound, long-term benefits for your mental well-being. Emotional outbursts and conflicts take a toll on your mind, creating stress and regret. Restraint breaks this cycle, allowing you to maintain a sense of balance and control. As Philippians 4 verse 7 promises, and the peace of God which transcends all understanding will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. This peace becomes a natural outcome of choosing restraint, a calm assurance that no external negativity can shake your inner stability. Restraint also fosters better relationships. When you choose not to react impulsively to disrespect, you create space for understanding and resolution. Over time, people begin to recognize your composure and respect your ability to remain calm under pressure. This reputation as a level-headed individual can lead to healthier and more respectful interactions. Resilience through restraint also prepares you for the inevitable tests of life. Disrespect is just one form of adversity. Challenges will come in many shapes and sizes. The self-control you develop by practicing restraint becomes a transferable skill, helping you navigate everything from workplace stress to personal disagreements with grace. Each moment of restraint is a reminder of your ability to stay centered even in turbulent times. C.S. Lewis encapsulated this strength in his words, "There are far, far better things ahead than any we leave behind." The ability to practice restraint ensures that you're not weighed down by the negativity of others. Instead, you're free to move forward, focused on the greater things ahead. Finally, practicing restraint reinforces your self-worth. It reminds you that you don't need to prove your value to others through retaliation or confrontation. Your worth is inherent and unshaken by the opinions or actions of others. Isaiah 40:31 reassures us, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint." This renewed strength through restraint empowers you to rise above provocation, confident in your own dignity. In choosing restraint, you embrace resilience, not as a temporary strategy, but as a way of life. This resilience becomes your foundation, allowing you to face challenges with unshakable strength, grounded in self-respect and guided by wisdom. As we draw to a close, let us reflect on the quiet, transformative power of restraint. In a world that often equates strength with loudness and retaliation, choosing to stay silent and composed after being disrespected is a profound act of courage and wisdom. It's not about letting people walk over you. It's about rising above the noise and prioritizing what truly matters: your peace, your values, and your purpose. C.S. Lewis once said, "Humility is not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less." Restraint isn't about diminishing your worth or avoiding conflict out of fear. It's about understanding that your value is not defined by someone else's behavior. True strength lies in knowing who you are and refusing to let external negativity dictate your actions. The Bible echoes this truth in Romans 12:21. "Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good." When you stay composed in the face of disrespect, you reject the cycle of negativity. You take control of your emotions and actions, showing that you are governed by principles, not provocation. This is how you overcome, not with anger, but with wisdom and grace. The benefits of restraint extend far beyond the moment of conflict. It builds emotional resilience, a critical skill for navigating life's inevitable challenges. Each time you choose silence over retaliation, you strengthen your ability to remain calm under pressure. Over time, you'll find that situations that once triggered anger or frustration now evoke a sense of calm. This shift doesn't just improve your well-being, it enhances your relationships, your decision-making, and your overall quality of life. Moreover, restraint reinforces self-respect. When you choose not to engage with negativity, you send a powerful message to yourself and others. "I value myself too much to waste my energy on this." This sense of self-worth becomes a guiding force, helping you navigate conflicts with dignity and integrity. As Proverbs 22:1 reminds us, "A good name is more desirable than great riches. To be esteemed is better than silver or gold." By maintaining your composure, you protect your reputation and earn the respect of those around you. It's important to acknowledge that choosing restraint doesn't mean ignoring disrespect or tolerating mistreatment. It means responding with intention rather than reacting out of impulse. There are moments when standing up for yourself is necessary, but even then, the manner in which you do so matters. A calm, thoughtful response carries far more weight than an emotional outburst. It shows strength, maturity, and a commitment to your values. One of the greatest rewards of practicing restraint is the peace it brings. Disrespect and conflict are draining, pulling you into cycles of negativity that sap your energy and focus. Restraint allows you to step back and protect your inner calm. Philippians 4:7 assures us, "And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." This peace is priceless, a gift that comes from choosing to rise above provocation. C.S. Lewis beautifully encapsulated this mindset when he wrote, "Don't let your happiness depend on something you may lose." By practicing restraint, you free yourself from the need for external validation. Your happiness, your peace, and your sense of self are no longer tied to how others treat you. Instead, they are anchored in something far deeper and more enduring: your character, your faith, and your purpose. In the end, the power of restraint is not just about handling disrespect. It's about becoming the person you aspire to be. It's about embodying strength, wisdom, and grace in every interaction. By choosing restraint, you lead by example, showing others that there is a better way to handle conflict. You demonstrate that true power lies not in dominating others, but in mastering yourself. As Matthew 5:16 encourages us, "Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." Your restraint becomes a light, one that inspires those around you and brings honor to the values you hold dear. In every moment of provocation, remember this: silence isn't just the absence of words, it's the presence of strength.